Okay, we're just seeing the end of the lag here, and this is Friday night 9-ball again, and it's between Freeball and Faither. Now let's have a quick look at the bracket, and we'll see that this is a hot seat match. This is to see who gets the final. Remember, Friday night 9-ball is double elimination, it's also handicapped. And on the one-loss side, we have the loser of the last match between Freeball and Dizzle. Dizzle's playing Larry at the moment. And the one-loss side is a race to 5. The winner's side is a race to 7. Now, I've never seen Faither play, but he's got a good rating, which suggests that he's a competent enough player. And let's just see how good he is. Now, if you look at the HUD, you'll see that player 1, who is Freeball, is getting the last 2 as his handicap, so that will be whatever the last 2 balls are. Now obviously the last ball is always a 9-ball, and whatever other ball is left on the table along with it, as long as Freeball gets to that ball, he wins the rack, whereas Faither has to clear the lot. He has to get the 9-ball as well. Now that is a bad shot for Freeball. He's hooked himself in the 4, and he's going to leave the 4 ball on here unless he gets some cover, which he hasn't. But having said that, he's got the cue ball stuck over the 7, so that makes this shot very tough. And that's why he missed the 4. Just nudged my mouse there by mistake. Now, can Freeball see all of the 4? I think he can. And in goes the 4. And I don't think he's got a shot in the 5, has he? Let's see that squeeze. Oh yeah, it goes past the 6. He needs to just hold on to this to stay in the 6. Now, what's he going to do about the 7? Is he going to try and stun across for the 7? He might hook himself behind the 8. Well, he's decided to leave the combo. It shouldn't be too difficult, but where's the 7 ball going to go? Because the 7 ball's going to have to run off to the side rail like that. Well, he's still got a shot on it, but it's straight. So now he's going to have to run the cue ball. Well, of course I'm forgetting he only had to get the last 2, he just had to get the 8. So that's Freeball off and running with the first rack. Now it just so happened in that rack there that the 8 ball was the normal last 2 balls, the 8 and the 9, but it could easily have been the 3 ball and the 9. That's what last 2 means, in case you didn't know. So no joy in the break and no shot on for Faither, so he plays the push out. Now let's look and see where we know Freeball is from. I think he stays down in London, and Faither is a fellow Scot. I don't know whereabouts in Scotland he's from, but that's a scratch there by Freeball. Now let's see how good he is. Sometimes a player's rating can be a little bit false, and we'll find out just how capable he is. And a player with that level of rating should be able to run this table. I'm expecting him to do so. Well, I think he's just going to have to run through it, or just stop the cue ball where the 3 is here for the 4. Needs to leave a little angle so he can just get through on that 5 nice. And he's done that, so he can come off the left rail and come across to the right hand side of the 5. And now just needs to drop the 5 in, he can just roll through to the side rail and off the rail a little bit for the 6. Now the problem now is he needs to get, well, he's hit that too hard, and that's going to be a problem. He can still obviously pot the 6, and he can come round the angles of the top cush side rail and down to the bottom right here for this 7, and it needs to run, and that looks good. Well, he should have this rack on the board, and he's run the rack, so perhaps his rating reflects how good he is. I'm still expecting it should be a close match, because Freeball's more than capable of running a rack as well. So with it being winner breaks, Faither breaks off and he's got no joy again. And there'll be no prizes for guessing what Freeball's going to do here. Be looking for a kick safe. And I think Freeball can just, he might be able to stun past the 2. No, he's drawn back. Needs to watch the in off in the middle. Got a nice angle on the 3, can easily come round for the 4, plenty of room. And he's choosing to leave everything at a distance, and this is the problem. You can't be doing that, because the distance he's got here to this 5 ball, he's got a lot of movement to do here to go into this 6. And of course absolutely overdone it, and this is all because you're leaving the cue ball far too far from the object ball and leaving yourself far too much work to do. So now he's got no shot really other than sort of a half-hearted effort at a 6 there, but that's all down to just poorer positional play. You've got to get closer to the object ball to make your life easier. And so Freeball may well be punished here for that. And this is a crucial shot. Should be easy enough to get onto the 8 though. Plenty of room again. I'm going to leave and a nice little angle now. He probably just drop this in dead weight and leave the 9 into the left middle. Hard to say what he's going to do, but the 9 will go that way. But he's sent the cue ball up the table, and this will take Faither into the lead by 2 racks to 1, and with the break. A couple of balls in there, I think the bottom right pocket, and it was the 1 and the 4. No real shot in the 2. He can obviously billiard this on to the 6, which he's done, and that's a bit unlucky. I think he's hooked himself on the 2. You can't kick it in either because the 2 is too far off the rail. He might be going a little bit too narrow with this here. I think, yep, he needed to go more towards the centre diamond in that top rail there to make a better hit than the 2. Well, this isn't an easy one, but it's still a chance that the cue ball's going to be running away from the 3. Which is why free ball hit the 2 ball as hard, and of course had he potted it he was still hooked in the 3. Now again, a player with this rating should be looking to punish that mistake, and the difficult ball of course is a 9, but if he gets position on that 8 ball he can certainly nudge the cue ball into the 9 to make it a wee bit more comfortable to pot. Well, it will go down the rail, but depending what angle he leaves on it can multiply the difficulty, but we've yet to get there. And let's see if he has that in mind. He should leave this the top side of the table for this 8 ball. Well, there's a slight angle there. He might be able to nudge into this 9, but he's just deciding to roll it down the rail. So what we've seen so far is 2 mistakes by free ball in the previous 2 racks, and the end result is that he's now 3 racks to 1 down, and Faither gets a ball in the break. Not an easy shot in the 1. Now does that 8 ball pass the 9 into this corner? Yes it does. So he doesn't need to move any of those 2 balls. All he needs to do is get rid of the 4, which will happen in due course, but he's left himself short in this 3. But even if he thins this in, he's still going to be on the 4 as long as he comes back across. Well, he's decided to try and play some sort of safety, and one way or another he's got away with it, but it wasn't a great safety shot. The free ball needs to try and cut this hard enough if he can see it. Well, he couldn't get it, and that's ball in hand, but it goes down as another error. So if ever you're wondering why you lost a match, you've just got to count up your mistakes, and this could be the 3rd error in a row where the suitable penalty is losing the rack because of it, and this looks very likely what's going to happen. So he's got to get from the 6 to the 7, and he just wants to hit this thin with a bit of right hand English to come across for this 7 ball, and that's perfect. If he keeps running, he's going. Well, he's left it too straight. It needed to go nearer the rail, so this is a problem. So now he's having to cut the 8 in, but he should still play this at a pace where he's got the 9 into that right middle. Shouldn't be difficult. Well, he's overhit it slightly. I think he's going to have to take it into the top corner, but doesn't matter either or, they all count. So in it goes, and that's now 3 racks in a row that free ball has lost, and again all down to his own mistakes. And he's still in this match, because remember he's got the last 2 as his handicap, so he just needs to get to those last 2 balls, and the match score could change very quickly. I wouldn't be panicking at this stage, but he certainly needs to get a bit more accuracy on the positional play and stop leaving shots at a big distance, because it always multiplies the difficulty of the next positional shot. Now this one's easy enough. Getting onto the 5 isn't a problem. but again, he's just leaving it a wee bit short of pace, and this always makes the difficulty in position a bit more difficult, if that's a better way of describing it. So again, we're out away at distance again. Needs to get that cue ball closer to the object ball and stop having to move it so much. Well, he should get this one on the board, but again, there is an angle, so he's got to watch the pace in this 8 ball. Doesn't want the cue ball bouncing off that side rail too much. Now it has, but that doesn't matter, because again I've forgotten that he just needs to get to the 8 ball. Oh dear, I'll remember that yet. So now it's 4 racks to 2 that Faither leads. I'm so concentrated in the fact that the 9 ball's the main money ball, I keep forgetting that free balls get the last 2. And now we're going to get a little bit of tactical play here, and that's a good one. There's no way he's going to get to that 1 ball. Probably have to use the 2 rails this way, and maybe need a little bit of side. Well, he's got the kick and he's got it safe. Well, has he? Maybe we're going to see a bank here. No, again the wise play. When you've got that opportunity, tuck the cue ball away. Let's look at it from behind the shot. Well, he's got no shot here at all. No. And I don't even think he can kick at it off the left rail. Now, the thing to do here is not to move any of these balls. Leave that 2 ball where it is. He doesn't want to move any of them, because if you're giving the opponent ball in hand, then in that case it's okay to sacrifice the ball in hand, with the fact that the player's still got a lot of work to do. Now already Faither's looking at moving this 2 ball, unless he can get between that 7 and 9 to get it clean. Let's see if he can. Well, he's nudged to 7, but that makes no difference to what he's still got. So he'll be looking to just tuck this away again, get a nice little safety. Well, he's went for the combo and it goes in. Well, I never even looked at that. So now it's now 4 racks to 3. Like I say, the match can change very quickly. Well, you can see there's going to be a bit of a problem down at this bottom end here. Something's got to move. Although that 4 ball goes cleanly past the 6, if you could get it on it at such an angle. But he's got to solve the problem of the 3 ball first now. I don't think he's really got a shot here. Does that go past the 8? Yes, it does. I think it just squeezes past, and in it goes. He used every inch of the pocket. That needs to just slow down a bit. Well, it slowed down too quickly. You can still see an edge of the 4, but he's only going to push this towards that top left hand corner pocket if he hits the edge of it. Well, I think he hit it thicker than I thought he could, and he's actually got it hooked. Easy enough to kick at this though, and he doesn't want to hit it too hard. Well, is he going to pot it? No. Well, I'd settle for that one. That's the sort of luck you need, and that can easily turn the match completely around. Well, Faither fails to negotiate the snooker, and now free ball with ball in hand. And remember, he just needs to get to the 8 ball to win the rack. So just needs to roll the 5 and get this cue ball out and up for that 8. Now what's he going to do? He's looking at the shot into the middle, which doesn't look difficult. That would be the simplest one to play. So this to tie the match up at 4 racks all. So now it's looking a bit more interesting. Once you cut out those mistakes and start potting balls, then you can easily change the course of a match. Now, where would the best place be to push this? I would say somewhere at that end of the table where he is at the moment. Faither goes for the bank. Now, let's look at that from this angle. Well, that's far too tough, and even more if he's going to try and get somewhere onto this 3 ball. Got to look for the safety surely. Well, in it goes, and of course couldn't generate enough pace to get the cue ball down the table for the 3. So now he's got to look for a good safety at this point. Now you can get the cue ball around and down somewhere up by the 6 here if he thins the red on the left as we're looking at it. But he looks to be playing this with inside English, and that's actually not a bad effort. That's pretty good. I'd be well happy with that. He's got him hooked behind the 8. Free ball ideally wants to hit this full in the face or thin and just cut it along the cushion. Well, he's got it thick. Again, he's left a tight cut into the middle, but this time if Faither gets it, he'll be on the 4. And this is going to be the problem. Oh, I thought that was the 4 down there. It's a 7 ball in the left hand side. I really need to get my eyes tested. Well, this is going to be the crucial shot, getting position in the 8. And the cue ball's going to be running here, so he needs to keep it under control. Get back up for this 9. So this to go back into the lead, and in it goes. So now Faither leads by 5 racks to 4. breaks off in the 10th rack and again gets no joy. And the cue ball is sitting right in the middle of the table there, but can he cut this one in and not going off? He might be able to just hit the jaw. Well, I think he erred on the safety and he's overcut it. Again, that's a mistake, so this might be developing back into the pattern in the early stage of the match if Faither can run out here. But he's got to get a lot of power generated into the cue ball here to come up for this 3. This looks dead straight. And that may be overhit it and it's spinning the wrong way. So now all he's got is a safety. And this is a brave shot and he could be punished here. He's going for the kick. Well, a brave shot and unlucky to leave it in the jaws, and that's going to be easily kicked in just off the side rail. Catch the 3 ball thin enough, it'll go in. Doesn't want to get it too full, he'll just send it off the rail back up the table, and in it goes. Nice kiss in the 6 and sitting pretty in the 4. So Freeball's problem here is that the 5 ball's only going into the left hand corner as we look in the 2 middle pockets. And again, well, does it squeeze past the 6? Well, that's a lot to ask. That was not a good positional shot. And that's the difference between winning and losing, is the players that can get much better position. So nothing left there but to try a safety, and it's not worked out. I think that 5 will, does it squeeze past that 9? Well, no, he's got cover. He attempted the combo, he's not got it, but what he has got is the second prize again. Got free ball hooked in the 9. This time it'll be out with the jump stick. I just really got to hope and get this safe. Well, made a mess of the jump. So again, the error has been made, and Faither has ball in hand. And this is going to take him to the hill if he manages to run these out. And this is a delicate little shot. He can come back across for the 8, and he's sort of under hit that. Left at an awkward angle. Remember, he still needs to get the 9 as well. And that looks pretty good. Just roll it down the rail. So Faither goes into a 6 racks to 4 lead. And again, he's getting no success in the break, other than the fact that he's only left free ball to push out. And that might not be such a great push out because he's left the bank. And Faither might be tempted into going for this because the 2 balls on there into the left middle. The cue ball's going to come round. He'll probably go for this, I think. Yeah, that was not a good push out. And free ball might have played his last shot. Well, I can't see where a problem is here, because cue ball's going to come out nice for the 6. Drop the 6 in, tuck that 7 down the rail, leave the cue ball where the 7 is, or come back slightly and out, and run that 8 into the middle pocket. It looks easy enough to me. And the one thing to remember is this all came about from a poor thought out push out. Push to the bank, left the player the tempting shot, the player's sitting waiting on one rack for the match, and he had no other real option other than to go for the bank because the balls were there for the taking. And that's well done by Faither, because you've got to do what's required of you, and he wins the match by 7 racks to 4.